Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Movies We Dig, the podcast about film, antiquity, and everything in between. I'm Colin McCormick.
I'm Elijah Fleming.
And I'm Christy Vogler.
And today we're doing a special commentary episode where we are going to try to watch along with the movie and do our podcast review and commentary as reviewing it. So this is an experimental format for the show. We're not sure exactly how it's going to go down, but we're going to try and sort of give cues to the audience as we're watching it, saying when we're starting, if we end up pausing or resuming, when exactly the time marker is that's going to happen. That way, so you can either listen to this show or if you want to watch along, you potentially watch along with this podcast as a sort of ongoing running commentary. And so with that, I'm going to kick it over to Christy, who was the one that originally pitched this movie, because I know next to nothing about what I'm about to see.
Yeah, so this is hopefully our Halloween special, and I wanted us to, I just looked for a random list of classically inspired horror films that we could possibly watch and comment on. And one that came up that's fairly recent is called A Wounded Fawn. Came out in 2022. And the quick blurb on it is art, beauty, mythology, and a serial killer each add a distinct color to Travis Stevens' latest horror film about a successful museum curator whose romantic weekend becomes a surrealistic nightmare. That was a rough one, guys. So none of us have seen this. I think Colin and I have watched the trailers, so we have a little bit of idea of what we might be getting into. So I figured the better question to ask is, what is your guys' experience with horror? How do you like it as a genre? And maybe like every good horror film seems to have a good twist in it. So if you had to predict some weird twist for this movie, what do you think it'll be?
Ooh, these are good questions. Yeah, I am coming into this without even having seen this trailer, so I'm very excited. But on the horror front, I feel like I have more recently appreciated horror movies. As a younger person, it really freaked me out. I never wanted to go see any of the big slashers. I never liked watching horror. But more recently, I have watched just like really good movies that are technically horror films. And I'm thinking about like Hereditary is such a good movie. It just also happens to be a very horrifying film. So I think I'm nervous, but not like too worried about the horror aspect here.
Yeah, I kind of very similarly was a relative latecomer to horror. As a younger, like teenager, I didn't really go in for horror for all that much, but then I started dipping my toe in like in college and then later. And now some of my favorite movies of all time are horror movies. I think maybe, I keep a running list of kind of my top 5 favorite films at any given time. And one of them pretty consistently is John Carpenter's The Thing. But I also really like movies like The Witch, the Scream franchise. I think horror is one of those genres that's really interesting to me because it's one of the genres that it really is kind of one of the last spaces where you really do get kind of innovative and creative voices. I mean, I'm thinking of like the ascendancy of like Jordan Peele and like Blumhouse Pictures, where every now and then like one will really cut through and kind of come out of left field with like a really hot, innovative take. It's one of the genres where I think you tend to see smaller, there's more wiggle room and more space for independent voices and creative people to really kind of set their mark, to really do, there's a lot more freedom with the genre as opposed to sort of other genres and genre films that tend to be more studio oriented or in-house, or something like your Disneys and your Marvels and your Star Warses and that kind of thing, which tend to be increasingly taking over the box office. And also just horror, I think, is also a genre that until recently wasn't getting the kind of recognition that it deserved as a sort of innovative form. I've been going on too long, but I also, one last thing is I really actually like using horror as a teaching tool, because when I teach Greek tragedy, you all talk a lot about the sort of theory behind it, particularly as Aristotle constructs it, but this idea of like character types and realizations and twists and things like that. And horror, I think, is a genre that really actually embodies of it. So I tell my students very often, like, if you want to understand ancient tragedy, horror is some of the best films that really exemplify the kind of mechanisms that are at work in ancient tragedy. And like I use, for example, it's not quite a horror film, it's more of a thriller, but David Fincher's Seven, I think, is like a perfect example of like the sort of Aristotelian, like the way the plot sort of builds up to basically a character destroying themselves, realizing they've destroying themselves, and then falling into misfortune. But that's a long way to say I dig horror.
Oh man. So I'm really limited to like seeing The Grunge during a sleepover or something like that. However, going off what Colin was saying, it's like they have amazing storylines, and so I have started listening to a podcast that allows me to get the plot of the horror movie, and that's a really nice way for me to digest it. And I really started pursuing that because there's a book I was reading last year. I forget what it's called exactly, but it just pointed out that I think the Scream franchise, they were really surprised to learn, because it's more slasher. They were really surprised to learn, like, they figured they were going to get a bunch of teenage 20-year-old guys coming to see this film. That's who they were making it for. But their main audience was young women, because they kind of realized it's like it was validating the feeling that women feel all the time about like being stalked or pursued by someone.
Right.
And at least in horror films, it's like that's actually happening, versus you're denied that feeling, or you're like, people don't accept that feeling in your day-to-day life, which I find really fascinating that so many women gravitate to this genre.
For sure.
Or like one of the things I kind of say, like, if you really want a film that understands the gaze and like the male gaze and like what it's like to be looked at, go watch Jonathan Demme's Silence of the Lambs, where every scene where Jodie Foster is in, right, where she like walks into a room and the way the camera is positioned and all of these like cops or something like that turn to look at her, and just like the feeling of being looked at like that. It's like that movie just zeroes in on in a way that is like so specific but so very real. And yeah, like Christy, like you said, like the kind of the best, scariest horror films are the ones that they leave more to the imagination.
Definitely.
I need to work. I want to work myself up to watching Jennifer's Body someday, because like,
oh, it's so good. Chris,
I know,
you like it. It's
I
so
know,
good.
That's
really
kind of a anti-horror movie.
That's fair.
I mean, also
That's
like
fair.
even horror as a genre, also in and as itself, like kind of contains multitudes, because there's so many different.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like much like sci-fi in that way, because I feel like I teach a lot with sci-fi, and horror has this reflection of our societal norms and our cultural norms, but oftentimes we'll like turn them on their head or use them in some way to make some sort of commentary. Like the most recent Candyman, I think, was like so much about like white violence against Black people. And Midnight Mass has so much about religion and cult figures, but it's still reflected in this like horror aspect.
Or the Shining, right? Which is like, what if I just went nuts and killed my family?
Which is a real thing. Like that's like, what do they call them? Family annihilators. It's like, that's a real thing.
I still maintain though, like, even though I love The Shining and I think it's genuinely terrifying and there's a lot going on, but like the idea of getting to live alone in a giant hotel over the winter and just hang out kind of still appeals to me a little bit. But then again, maybe I may go the way of.
So, Laz, just to give you a little bit of information based on what we learned from the trailer, we see this guy who's the main protagonist, don't know his name or anything yet. He murders a woman and then invites another woman to go hang out at a cabin with him for the weekend. So that is the premise, along with the Furies are involved. So you can probably, that's the baseline I think we're all at. So with that baseline, what do you guys think? Is there a twist, and what will the twist be?
I don't even know what myth we're going to be watching, if it's just
mostly just the Furies, and I know I saw a flash of like cut open pomegranate. So
okay. So I'm wondering then. I mean, the Furies are revenge spirits essentially. So I'm wondering if the woman that he kills is going to like come back as some sort of Fury zombie and is going to hunt both of them, like the man and the woman, regardless of innocence or blame, or it's just creating this like force that's now out in the world.
We're coming up on like 12 minutes, so we should probably start the movie, because we're in for like a 2-hour film, something like that.
It's an hour and a half. It's 90 minutes total, so not too bad.
Love that. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Uh,
Let's kick it off. So let's get a countdown going and then start
all right.
get the show on the road.
All
Leah, you
right.
ready?
And 3, 2, 1, go.
I'll put a little sound effect with the, to be like ding ding or like the sound of a knife going into the body. So we're just getting some credits. This is like an indie film, right? This is a small
Yes.
independent
So
production.
this is a Shudder original. So if you really like your horror, you can. Yeah, I can hear it. This is a streaming service just for horror films. So
And let me know
I will
also
not
if
be investing in that.
let me know if you hear any blowback from like the sound. Right, I have the volume turned a little bit down on my
I'm
TV.
trying to figure out if I'm hearing sound in mine. Yeah, I am. Okay. I
Yeah,
suddenly became aware that I was both mortal and touchable and that I could be destroyed. Leonora Carrington.
who I am. All right, gavel bang / gunshots.
Woo! Hitting us with that classical reception.
Yeah, all right. We're starting off with some sculpture and a lecture on the air, and yes.
And like we're seeing a bronze statue. I wonder if this is real.
This looks
Some
new
of it looks
or
like
modern.
could be at
Yeah.
least, taken from something.
Yeah.
It's so
All
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Electo. That's a Virgil reference.
Symphony.
This also
And-
just making me think of Hades.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and this is our main protagonist right here.
Right.
I
Ooh,
love this
okay, we're at
very
an auction.
creepy focus on like faces and mouths so far.
And like not even full, like super tight close-ups of
Ooh.
until just now. We can see a full face. So we're at like an auction for what looks like a bronze sculpture of what I assume is
Yeah.
Orestes.
Okay, it's tiny. And I did read that like a lot of the Greeks did describe the Furies looking like the Gorgons as well. So that's
Yeah,
they have a lot of snake
snake-haired.
hair. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This guy's
Who
really
this actor?
familiar.
Yes.
I
What do I know
know.
him from?
You
can pull up the thing? Does it have to
okay,
watch
yeah, you want me to
longer?
pause real quick?
No. Let's keep going.
Okay.
I can just
Yeah. I used
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
So familiar.
Bruce Ernst.
Okay, Josh Rubin. What else do I know him from? Wounded Fawn, Green Bay, College Humor. Oh, he's from College Humor. That's how I know him. He's like he in the sketch show, like back
Okay.
in the early 2000s, I think he was in a bunch of
Weird.
these. Yeah.
I like how these bidders are like acting like football coaches. I can't see what I'm mouthing.
I know.
Well, this is like one of the things. Like, is this actually how bidding on art pieces work? I have no idea.
Did the Greeks make like pieces this small?
Oh yeah.
How small did he say it was?
Yeah, I
thought
guess
it
I
was
do
just a
because I know
picture.
there's an art.
It looks
Oh,
like
I
it's right
see
there.
it.
It
Down
looks like it's
there.
like
Yeah.
It's
like
tiny.
No, you definitely see like tiny little bronze things.
That's fair.
Sometimes they get more lost because they're easy to like melt down, so you don't find as many of them, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, the drama.
All right. All right. This woman just bid $120,000 for this sculpture.
Oh, okay. So this blonde,
Yeah.
she's in the trailer. So she's
Kate. This is Kate.
Yeah.
She just sent that guy packing. She just bought a sculpture for $130,000.
Are we at Christie's or Sotheby's?
Basically, yeah, we're
I always hated that like my name is exactly spelled like an auction house. I hate it so much.
Oh, Christie's.
She's She just said,
French.
yeah, no, but she just said like, okay, great, see you tomorrow, bye,
Yep.
good night.
Yeah, like what do you do? Like it's like I just bought something for 130,000, but I don't get to like keep it.
Well,
Right?
yeah. I mean, that sounds like a sweet gig. I would love to be like
Yeah.
a.
All
Just
right.
like
Lone
using
white
somebody's
woman
money.
walking by herself into her gorgeous house.
I know.
And
This is
look at those
huge and
shoes.
beautiful.
Ugh, that
Modern
kitchen.
I know. I want that kitchen.
Open concept kitchen.
Too white. It needs a little more color, in my opinion. But
I mean,
otherwise,
the lights are
This
off.
is like
Maybe there's color.
this is like Werner Herzog's sad beige kitchen. This is where the murders happen.
only 2 bar stools. Really, you could have at least 3, if not 4. But
Okay. Also, I just want to comment on a bit of the behavior that's like a behavior from movie logic, but one of those things like this is bizarre. She comes home, she walks into her kitchen, takes her shoes off in her kitchen, and now
pops
she's
open the
talking about
champagne because she
Takes-
just kicked ass.
I don't know. Maybe there's the way this house is laid out, but who walks into their kitchen and then takes the shoes off in the kitchen? Take them off at the door.
I mean, the door is, well, I guess it is around the corner.
Depends. It depends. She wanted her champagne. Better question: did she lock the door behind her? Did we see?
Ooh.
The doorbell
Because
just rang.
no
Yeah.
woman walks into her
Doorbell.
house at night by herself and does not lock the door.
So true. This is a very
And-
creepy doorbell.
Yeah.
I want
But
this
also,
house now.
I was just emphasis on her. She's in a fairly monochromatic outfit, with the exception of those bright red shoes.
Yeah, and all you can see is her legs. Otherwise, she's wearing like a black shroud.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
Don't
All right,
open the
who's
door.
at the door? It's Bruce.
No.
You close the door.
No. Close the door.
Okay, so he's saying he wants to buy it off her.
Please fuck off down the road.
See,
Ooh, offering
if that
a
was
bonus.
true, yeah, if that was true,
Yeah.
that offer would have happened during the auction.
Okay, they see something beautiful and they want it. And
Said
Nope.
creepily.
Close the door.
he is-
Close the
he
door.
is not talking
Close
about-
the door.
All right, here's the thing you got to always remember about horror film protagonists is they don't know they're in a horror film, right?
She's not even a
Yes.
protagonist.
Because there's so many cases like obviously don't look at the alien or like open the box or go down in the basement, but they have
Right.
to they also kind of exist in a world where like horror movies don't exist.
Right.
Well, and like interesting thing here is like she also asked for 20% of his commission, so she's trying to be bad boss bitch, right?
Right.
Okay, she lets him in the house.
Which
He
she's trying to
offered to stay
dominate a
outside.
man,
Ugh.
and it's
No, I agree, Christy. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very much waiting for this to go extremely wrong.
yep.
Oh, it's going to be a slow burn, I think, right?
I don't know.
I mean, an argument that's made like he's attractive, like right? He's an attractive dude.
I mean, yeah, he has that sort of like I'm not going to be a problem kind of vibe. Like he
Yeah.
offered to stay outside. Like he didn't
Yeah.
invite himself in. Like he
He's
tried
got
to
a
refuse the
shaky hand.
champagne.
Yep.
Ugh. But yeah, see,
Arthur clenched fist
what the fuck?
Ooh,
Why is
okay.
there a red glow?
from the bathroom
I bet these are the Furies. I bet he is haunted by
already.
because he's already committed murder, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
they,
and
they
they're
say
following
they
him.
describe him as a serial killer.
Yep.
I doubt we're gonna see them yet, though, right?
I don't know if we'll see them at all.
Oh, there's
Or-
stuff in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
fuck.
oh,
Okay, never mind. I take back what I said. That is a Fury.
Okay, interesting.
It
So-
looks like a bird.
Like a
Owl?
owl head?
Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the figures as they were depicted in the bronze statue. One was wolf-like, one looks like a gorgon, and the other one. What was the other one? Was it a?
It had like
Oh,
a
I
weird.
hate that sound.
Shit.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh, okay. So he has just murdered her.
Just straight up murdered.
Ooh,
Like,
gnarly. His
no.
all right, you know,
Oh.
his weapon of choice is like it's like one of those. I don't know how to describe it.
I don't know.
It's like the only thing it reminds me of is like there's these things that like it's like a rock climbing or like ninjas would have these like spike hand gloves.
Yeah,
You just like
hand
yeah.
spikes.
it's basically got like a hand spike.
So,
Or like those gloves that gardeners
there you
have
go.
to like
There
aerate
we
the
got a better
soil.
look.
Yeah, it looks
Whoa.
like brass knuckles, but knives.
With hooks or yeah. Mini Wolverine attachments. I don't know.
Yeah.
I swear there are these gardening implements you can get that are like basically like spiky gloves. So you can like, massage the soil and aerate it.
So we definitely get the sense that he's like suffering a madness of some kinds, which is what the Furies do for sure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting, like the Furies mostly pursue homicide, but they're really mythologically known for going after people who commit patricide or matricide. Like,
yep,
right.
Kate is dead.
All right, so we have Act 1 done,
or starting,
and we're in therapy now.
So we have who I assume our new protagonist,
Mm-hmm.
talking to her therapist about her.
Meredith is her name.
Yep, talking about her
abusive ex.
Yeah, which it goes back to what I was saying about horror earlier, and something that I was intrigued by is it really does give voice to the female experience in a lot of ways, which is or other marginalized groups.
This is a very like peaceful setting compared to what we just came from.
And we have more art.
All right, here we got a painting of Orestes.
Yep. For slaying his mother Clytemnestra.
Mm-hmm. Famous painting. If you Google Furies or Arenes, this painting is the one that jumps right up.
Oh, definitely.
And she's looking at it and she's smiling slightly and nodding. She's like, yeah.
Right. And a friend is asking why she's happy.
Typical woman group convo.
Yeah.
So are they at work? They're
I think
they're curators.
She's curator, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like that this is like a trio of 3 women, and we have this like trio of 3 Furies. I don't know.
So what do we think about the 2 guys walking in the background of this conversation?
I think automatically suspicious.
Nah, I think they're just extras. Yeah. I want to look up though. Are they actually in this right museum, or in where is this painting?
Oh, that's funny.
Because I want to go to it. These are the paintings I love.
Because is that gonna like tell us
where this is happening?
All right, so we're looking at Orestes Pursued by the Furies by William Adolphe Bouguereau, I believe that is how the name is pronounced, from 1862. And where is this painting? How do I go to? It's in the Chrysler Museum of Art in Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. Okay.
I should go check that out then.
Yeah, I was like, Christy, you can go see it.
Yeah.
So Meredith is seeing a new guy and she's telling
Yep.
her friends about it, but not enough about it. And I'm worried
Oh,
that
it's
like
the murder,
they're
though.
not gonna know where she is.
Okay, I'm going to call a pause for a moment because I do want to pose a quick question, you guys. So we're
All right.
pausing at the 15-minute, 2-second mark. So Meredith is like, I know who's going to be our main protagonist going forward and have the interaction with the guy who we just saw murder Kate. But that was such a like a short interaction slash relationship. And we know he's supposedly a serial killer. So I was just thinking, what do you think motivated him to kill Kate? Because it seems like it might be a different MO than what he's usually doing, or at least, or maybe Meredith is the different MO.
I kind of
Uh,
feel like he said it, right? He said, I saw something beautiful and he wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And I think that he just was like, I'm gonna kill this person. And then he went and did.
Yeah, I second that.
I'm just curious about the idea of developing like a longer relationship. Like I'm trying to figure out which one of these two is the outlier for him in terms of
Ooh,
like I
sure.
watch way too much Criminal Minds, you guys. This guy needs an MO. Okay.
Let's roll it because we.
Yep. All right, and we're at the like I said, 15-minute, 2-second mark, and 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so they hug. She's packing, so she's going up.
This
Right.
is far
on
too
the-
happy.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, a classic rule of tragedy is that
I love that the makeup bag takes up half her luggage. Like that is semi-accurate for a weekend trip.
jeans and some intimate apparel, but I was gonna say, yeah, classic bit of tragedy. Rule one of tragedy is your character starts in a good place and they descend into a bad place, or of misfortune or bad situation. Is that a mini record? I worry she hasn't packed enough socks.
Okay, that suitcase is way too skinny. She has a cat, so
Mhm.
already
My cat's friend.
we're
Leah,
rooting
do you
for
have
her
any-
no matter what.
So I did this elaborate setup in my house with the microphone so I could watch this on my TV, but that also means so my cat can join me. So Leo's sitting right here, being a very good boy.
They're definitely emphasizing the sexuality of her because, like, she was just. I mean, I would walk around like that if I had a great body like that, of just a nice robed veil and nothing on top. And
All right, so here's the reveal. Who's her new boyfriend? It's Bruce.
oh, a hound, a black hound just ran by.
Perhaps warning her off?
I mean, maybe if the dog had attacked him, that would have been more of an indicator for me, but
Please kill him now.
the black hound tends to be more. I'm wondering if, like, because the trailer has the pomegranate, I wonder if there's going to be, besides the Furies, like allusions to other chthonic deities, because the black hound is often associated with Hecate. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if we have a
it's all fair game.
pomegranate,
We're
yeah.
working with the, imagery tableau of, Greek vengeful deities. But I want to. All right, so here's another question. I mean, not to like question this movie's logic, but if this guy is a serial killer who operates in the fine art world, that's got to be a pretty small insular community, right?
Oh, totally.
Like it seems
Yeah.
like it'd be very difficult to, to find victims.
I mean, like, yeah, no one's gonna really know Kate because, like, he had no real interaction with her publicly that anyone saw.
Sure.
Right. But
Like, we just saw the.
there's only if there's a slew of murders of women in the art world,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I'm not a cop, nor are there any cops in this movie.
Well, I mean, if you cross state lines too, like, even if that community is small, the cops don't cross state lines well.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I like that she said that her like work in art school was on deconstructing the myth of the muse.
Ooh.
Well,
And I
this guy's all about muses,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
except his medium is murder.
Okay. She was very uncomfortable in that.
Yeah.
situation, but she also is like, "But this is what I want to get over my stalker ex-boyfriend."
Has she said how long they've been together? Or did I miss that?
I think they, like, just met. He got her tacos,
Yeah, I think this is like a third or
like, their
fourth
first.
date.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're still in the like courtship phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
getting
I liked that weird they like went through the tunnel and it's like he kind of got weird and dark and standoffish
Yeah.
and then they came out of the tunnel and he's like brightened back up.
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, so I guess this actor because Josh Rubin, who's great, has very dark, maybe even doll-like eyes,
mm.
Mhm.
like a shark's eyes,
Shark
or
shark's
like a
eye.
doll's eyes. No stops, no snacks, no bathrooms.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. Yep, because he doesn't want anybody to see.
Yep. Yeah, because earlier, just a second ago, she had a camera on her place, and
Mm-hmm.
he seems to be avoiding the camera.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's another kind of question,
Mhm.
which is I think a lot of things at horror movies. I think a lot of I'm thinking particularly if any of you have seen It Follows, which is
Yes.
like when is this set? Because the car
Ooh,
that they're in right now
Is older.
feels
right.
like looks like it could be from like the 80s or 90s.
It's also
They
missing the headrests, which is something my first car was missing, like, the
Mhm.
passenger side headrest.
Which also sometimes they just seem to they just take out in movies I think so they can fit a camera there and you can see the people.
It's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, but like the fruit stand they just drove by, everybody was dressed in like what looked like 80s mom jeans.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this like they haven't been explicit about it, but if this is supposed to
Right.
be like and like in the first scene they were talking on corded phones, if like this is supposed to
Oh,
be in some
yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
nebulous
That's
time, like
true.
it could be now, it could be in the mid 80s or the 90s. Because I mentioned It Follows because that has a similar vibe, whether it's like it's
Sure.
kind of you can't tell if everybody's just sort of like retro chic or if it's like supposed to be the 70s or if it's neither.
Yeah. Well, because I think it's the presence of a cell phone that's the question,
Yes,
right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
is she gonna have some way to contact someone?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, cell phones like complicates like they're very rare in movies because they make plots they can undo plots very quickly.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I do know from enough, plot descriptions of other horror movies, it's like, you're either set somewhere before cell phones exist, or a lot of time is spent explaining why the cell phone doesn't work.
Yes,
Right.
or the cell phone is the monster.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Black Mirror or something. Yeah.
Yes. Like you have three options because it is very there's so many there's like a window too of like horror films that happen and come out or thriller films that come out like just before cell phones became widely prevalent that would have been immediately undone
Yep.
by the presence of cell phones.
Yep.
Um,
Alright. We're looking at a pile of wood.
They
yeah,
reach,
she's at
yeah,
this
his
cabin.
cabin in the woods.
She's got a giant medallion on, like a gold medallion, and I wanna see what's on it.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, so
It
her
it's, like, really low on that chain.
forest. I mean, also just I don't know what I just rented the standard version, but even
Uh-huh.
just like the film quality, like this looks like it was made on a older camera. Like it's a little fuzzy. The lighting is such like it looks like this film almost like looks like it was filmed in like the 80s or something like that.
Yeah. So she just heard a
So
woman's
she
voice that said
Yeah, she
leave.
just heard a woman's voice,
Yeah.
which, like, she shouldn't, unless she's a serial killer, which, maybe that's the twist. I wanna see what's on her medallion. Um, the ironies shouldn't be affecting
Okay.
her.
Classic thing just moved in front of the camera.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Whooshing. Oh my
Oh,
god.
no! You guys, I hate it.
There was a screaming woman inside that trunk. And
Glad I wasn't holding my wine.
Oh shit.
Okay. Also, mention in the last scene it was broad daylight, and right now it is night.
Pitch
It's
black.
so dark.
Yeah. Ooh.
That woman walks in front of the camera again. If this ghost,
So desperately, like I can't see what's on the medallion. It's getting closer. It just looks maybe like a circle.
it's like
Yeah.
a nautilus or something like that.
Okay. Is it? Oh, look, there's the bronze statue on the table.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Is it? It's not Kate's house, is it?
No.
Okay.
Unless she had a cabin that he took over.
Well, no, I mean, this is his murder cabin, and he brings
Yeah.
the trophies of his art victims back here.
But he also seems to be an art because he did get there's art on the wall and he got the
Yeah.
statue.
So she just noticed the statue of the Furies.
That's the most guy way I've
my
ever heard it
God.
said.
Okay, so I say Irenes. What do you guys
Yeah.
say?
I say Arañez.
Okay.
Aaronese. I mean,
it's just
Okay.
like
Oh, we
bored
also got
into my
this is a
skull.
Hellenistic sculpture.
Yeah.
That matters to us, I guess, and no one else.
No one else.
Oh. Okay, now he's saying that this is a copy.
yeah. Probably a smart move because
Yeah.
okay, so one has a dog head that looks exactly like the hound we saw earlier. Run by.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I need like 10 minutes just looking at the statue, apparently.
Yeah, and he was real dodgy about she was like, really, it looks legit for a fake.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, about that.
Do you think he's gonna eat her?
Nah, I think it's more of I think it's like a aesthetic thing.
Okay.
Like it's like his murder is a painting, you know?
It wasn't like it was like a composition when he killed Kate.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the kitchen seem way too modern to be set in the 80s.
I don't know. This
look at
looks
that
kind of like a
Tupperware.
chef's kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of stainless steel.
That fridge, there's no way.
I'm thinking red.
Yep.
Ugh.
Fire.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, red wine is, of course, the drink of choice for serial killers and insane psychologists.
Isn't Chianti?
Cannibals.
I guess
Yes.
Chianti is a red wine, isn't it?
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
it
No,
is.
yeah. Hannibal Lecter is a man of culture.
Absolutely.
And
Hey,
he
there's-
pairs his wine well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but there's excellent white wines too. As I don't even know what I'm drinking. It is a white wine.
Oh, I actually really like this like weird collage that's in this room.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's really cool.
Okay, she's
Oh,
looking
shit.
outside again.
Oh, fuck. I hate weird
Oh, okay.
outside.
Is it the
nope.
dog again?
Nah, it's an Arañez. I don't know.
We definitely hear growling. Guys, I'm gonna jump again.
Just don't blow out the mic.
I'll try.
Oh, no.
No.
This is
her.
way more
horror.
disturbing to
Body
me.
That she how would you describe picks at the cuticles, I guess.
Yeah.
Just, I don't need a close up on it. You know, it's just like that feeling.
Okay, oh, hang on, hold up. She just took out a cell phone.
She has a cell phone.
Okay, this blows up my whole theory. And she is texting her friend with
Yes.
what looks like a modern cell
While
phone.
on the toilet, which is the most vulnerable place you could be.
And she's also she's looking at not a keyboard but a just screen of fruit emojis.
There's a lot of emphasis on the outside of the house right now and the sounds outside of the house.
I really like her dress.
Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering if there's like a pomegranate on the bottom of her medallion necklace.
I thought it might be a skull.
Ooh, that could be it too.
Weird toast.
I feel like it works for him though.
Is it
To
bad
art
that I
and
kind of want a
beauty.
glass of wine now, though?
I got my
mean,
sippy cup wine.
I have mine.
You want us to pause so you can get some wine, Colin?
No, I don't have any. I literally
Oh, okay.
made an active decision because I was getting some stuff from the grocery store on my way home, and I had at one point I literally had a bottle of Pinot Grigio in my hand, and I was like, "Man,"
Oh,
I put it back.
no.
That's okay.
Colin, I think your point is interesting though, because like she's just playing a record player. They really are trying to blend this idea of past and modern
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why, like, I'm so
setting.
surprised they had this shot a second ago where she had a cell phone because that's such a
Yeah.
rare thing to see in a movie like this, I feel like.
Okay, I'm calling it, you guys. I think she's the serial killer.
You think she murdered
Really?
her ex?
She's the one experiencing these visions of the Iranies and stuff, even
But
though they're warning her.
It was him
Or, like,
earlier, though. Right?
Talk about a
maybe
meat
they're
suit.
both suffering from it.
What's the, like, isn't
Ooh.
there a joke in How I Met Your Mother where it's like, well, what are the odds we're both serial killers?
Yeah. Well, because like it goes back to when she was sitting in front of the painting of the Iranies and she has like this knowing smile. And she's talking about like, oh yeah, in a really good therapy session. And I'm like, I'm in a good place. I feel good now. I bet you she murdered her ex. Calling it.
Ooh, interesting.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah. Looking at the fake grapes he's
Okay.
making. He's
Oh,
got his
his
shaky
hands are
hand.
trembling again.
He's got his murder impulse, and he's thinking about murdering her.
Oh, I think we're looking for that red glow again.
Yeah.
But it hasn't shown up yet again.
Oh no.
Oh, we got a photo album.
Oh no.
And it's empty.
Ooh, shit.
It's like
That means this is not his house.
It is definitely not his house.
Someone is not a fan of the past.
So she just took out a photo album and it was absent of photos, and her assumption is he has gone and emptied out, and now
Leonora. Oh.
Picture of an
All
ex
right.
victim.
Yeah.
Music stops.
Oh, red glow.
Where? No.
In the corner, left corner.
You're right. And she's seeing it, right? Okay.
Well, no, I think that's just a red wall.
But it kind of looked like it for a second, right? Like maybe we're
There's
supposed
a red
to...
light on.
So the screen just kind of popped out of the window on its own. Gonna start that record again. Play that same song.
Yeah. Had another walk by the camera. No.
Oh no.
There's definitely an emphasis of something outside trying to come in. So the mask reflection popped up to fit on her face.
Yeah. Oh.
Also, it's bugging me a little bit that she's wearing her boots inside on the rug.
Her Doc Martens.
Yeah.
It really brings the whole look together, though.
It does.
I know.
And as we've learned, once you kick off your shoes, you're dead.
She's looking back at this Araignée statue. And
yeah, so we've got the dog. What is the other one? It's like a horned figure, right?
Oh, is that front door open?
No, I think it's just a dark door.
Okay.
Or it's not the doorway. So
I
she's,
think it's a window.
okay, so now here's it. She's using her. Yeah, she's texting a picture of this sculpture to her friend, asking about its authenticity.
Oh, do you see that door?
Yes, it's a red door too.
It's the front door. I think it goes.
And wind chimes. Wind chimes have been used quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's our bloody pomegranate.
Oh my
Very
god.
nice.
Breathing heavily.
How do we take in that symbology, you guys?
I'm more just fixated on the fact that he's been in the kitchen all this time and all he's done is quartered the pomegranate.
He was cutting scallions earlier.
He was cutting, yeah.
Now his demons are visiting.
Who would do that? Who would do that? You guys, he literally just like tapped the inside of her ear from behind.
It's like an asshole boyfriend move, right?
It's like,
Like,
Just scare. I'm gonna scare my girlfriend just for fun. Like
This guy like
such
shoves
a
the cake
dick.
in his wife's face at their wedding.
Yes, exactly that energy.
Isn't there's like some correlation between like if you do that, there's like a pretty high likelihood you're gonna get a divorce.
Yes.
Now we got a buzzing sound.
All
I
right,
do
so
think like
one
the
Aranez, more than one Aranez.
yeah,
what is-
the
all right, what did he-
noises and like the
Yeah.
background does remind me of It Follows in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We're really
I mean,
focused on these pomegranates.
right, so what do they have for dinner? They've got is that a Brussels sprout?
That
Looks
is a
like it.
Brussels sprout.
So we got
I
some-
had Brussels sprouts today.
She is
Like a
not
roasted-
listening to him. It's so funny.
I mean, yeah, he's like mansplaining art or something.
He's mansplaining food.
Ooh. You guys, this guy sucks.
Sucks so much.
Okay.
She's asking the big questions now.
Yep. Like, define weird.
You
Have you ever seen a ghost?
ever murdered someone here before?
Unexplained stuff. That's a good move, yeah.
Meaningful look, meaningful chuckle.
my
Fruit
watch
fly
is
buzzing
telling
around the
me
face.
to like
Right.
take a breath and relax because I think my like heart rate is up because I'm so upset about this.
He's being defensive about his murder
Mhm.
cabin.
Yeah.
All right, been very passive
dick.
aggressive.
Just relax. You'll be fine.
Ooh, all right, bringing up the X.
Okay, the thing on her. Let's just sit for a sec. Hey. Truth, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
His name is Bruce.
Okay, that is just a ghost.
What? No. What the is
Alright.
the light if it's not a
The light-
motion sensor light? Oh
The
my
light
god.
did turn on.
Yeah.
It did.
How could she? She's like 40 feet away from it now.
Like, hello.
All right, takes the knife, goes
There's
outside.
so much allusion to this damn
Oh,
pomegranate.
okay. Immediately accuses her.
Mm-hmm. I want to freeze frame that look.
We're going to circle back. I'm going to get a screenshot of that turn with the O face with the knife.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I'm gonna send you guys some College Humor sketches like immediately after this. That
Oh,
I feel
God.
like
I
you guys
remember
are
watching College Humor.
it's gonna like reorient your this view of this actor. Independent of this guy being a murderer, he's still being a shitty date.
He is,
so
but also, what is
shitty.
that logic? I thought you couldn't see anything with the light on.
I mean,
Hmm.
is it nothing?
Ugh.
I feel like it's not like you can't gaslight her. You're just imagining it while you are also like running outside with a knife, right?
But I could see that being him talking to himself too.
Oh, okay.
Like you're just imagining things. You're just like, I feel like, he's probably been experiencing this stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
He still has a knife.
He's like making a face like, how about some murder? Yeah, but the problem with spending the weekend at your apartment is it's going to be really hard to hide evidence.
Mhm.
No, it's not. He says while still holding the knife.
Yeah, we're completely alone out here. Holds knife.
She said the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
That is the problem.
Menacingly.
This is just a general question about performance, right? Is like, playing it up like how do you pitch this? Because he's kind of playing it like he is a murderer a little bit
Yeah.
in a way that.
Okay. Her medallion, it's not a skull. Ugh.
While he holds a knife at her and tells her that you're
Yeah.
being overdramatic.
He looks like so freaked out himself.
Very nice.
The snake is good.
I don't think Bruce is comfortable staying here tonight.
See, I think he's partly being a jerk and not wanting to leave because he's trying to convince himself that everything is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She's putting away all 3 things she packed or unpacked. All right, her friend's calling back and is probably going to tell her that this is the real deal statue, which is going to be his.
Oh,
there it
she
is.
knows.
Yep.
He's shaking hand again.
Have a little bit
More red wine.
Yeah, no one ever like these kinds of movies. Like this guy isn't drinking like a White Claw.
Up, we've got
Okay.
a red
Here's our red
owl
glow.
figure. The
it's
mask and the
so
chest.
Cool.
This is pretty neat. Smoke. Kind of a Gorgon face with the tongue sticking out, but
All right, so here's like is the owl Fury telling them to murder his guests?
But I don't think that is a Fury. Oh, he's
All
got
right,
his murder knuckle.
Yeah.
He's putting on his murder glove.
Well, then, yeah, what is the owl thing telling him?
He's got murder face right now.
That's why I kept wanting to look at the statue again because then Kate's looking in the background.
Her friend's telling her the statue was stolen.
Okay, now her medal is flipped over and I can't tell what's on it. I'm gonna. be so mad that I won't know what this is by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, would I want to be letting a guy who's been drinking wine all night drive me home in the middle of the night?
Right. Oh.
Okay, her friend's really also like burying the lead a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is that the prior owner of said statue was murdered, which is probably something you should lead with. There it is.
Oh, interesting.
No, you tell them exactly where you are. You like send them a drop like to your location.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, this is kind of a thing where like the movie cell phones are kind of working both in favor and against the movie, right? Where it's like you want to have this conversation with the friend, you want her to get this information that she's in the home of a murderer, but then the cell phone would also can do things like quickly dial 911 and send like track your location and things like that.
Yeah.
But all right, she's going to put on a face and try to get out of here.
I was like, you don't trust the person anymore. I'd be barricading myself in and calling myself a ride home.
Oh, her stuff's gone.
It's okay. You don't need it.
Nope.
You got your phone. Just leave.
But that LSD album, though, like, don't leave that behind.
Yeah. Got the wind chimes again. Red is definitely thematic here.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure. Well, it's if you ever see like not The Shining.
Psycho?
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Yeah.
Where there's a lot of that, where like one person will be in a red dress or have like a red shirt.
So what do we think about this slanted red light over the clock? It's kind of interesting. Again, this idea of time being like old and modern.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got kind of a fisheye lens as we move backwards, where the camera's sort of trained on her as we were following her as she walks through the house.
We don't know where Bruce is.
Yep, Bruce is at large. Bruce is loose, you might say. Got his left the sink on. He's right behind her. All right, now she
goes for the grab.
The struggle is ensued.
Yeah,
and see, she's alive because her boots are still on.
I love that theory.
Oh, he's got.
He's
got her on the neck.
Doesn't seem like he has a good grip yet, though.
No.
Come on, Meredith, fight.
Hit him with those Doc Martens, damn it.
Kill him. All right, here's what I'm going to call right now. She's bludgeoning him with the statue.
Oh, we hear flesh rending. That's not a good sign.
No. Oh shit!
Making
Creepy
contact
owl.
with his owl.
I'm not believing that's a fury.
Here's my question. I'm a little confused about right now in the movie. Is the owl encouraging him to murder, or is the owl making him regret the murder?
I don't know yet.
Is the owl there to like taunt him and
it definitely seems to be encouraging him. That's why I don't think it's a fury.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
So is she dead?
She's got one red eye.
She's down, I think, but not out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty deep gashes in her throat, y'all.
Yeah, but if it... Oh, no.
This is taking a darker turn.
Yeah, it is. He's undressing her now. She's in red underwear, even though we saw her packing black lingerie.
Well, she packed the black lingerie back.
Yeah.
Breaks her phone. Throws it in the garbage.
Puts her
there goes the phone.
In the fire.
Just put some parsley on top. No one will notice.
Very kind of lackluster.
And he's jacking off.
Into the sink. This really...
Again, pomegranate. Still
out.
Still there. Out.
Wash your hands, man.
Yeah, please wash your hands.
Please wash
This is
your hands.
one of my greatest pet peeves in movies is nobody ever washes their hands.
He's
And even
washing
just
his
for normal
hands.
stuff, and even just for normal stuff, like whenever they're in a bathroom, they'll walk out of the bathroom without washing their hands, and
Yeah. But in the kitchen,
it
I
makes
mean,
me want to put
he
on
washed
just, like,
one hand.
Yes, sorry. I mean, put some soap on it. This is where we also get into the other kind of dimension of horror of the like sex and titillation of the genre.
Yeah.
Sure.
There it is.
Yes.
Got 'em.
Okay. She
With-
still has the boots on, guys.
With the statue.
With the statue.
Oh,
All right, so I think he's done. I would assume.
we're
Well,
only
if he's
about
done,
50
where's our
minutes in, so
story
we
going?
got
Yeah.
half
We have also-
hour
this,
of.
this movie has engineered a scenario where she now basically has to be in lingerie for the rest of the movie, I think.
Yeah. Oh, unless she finds her suitcase.
As we have a long shot of the woods.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for something to.
Running naked
What?
chick.
I think it's her fleeing. Or all right, now we've moved into a sort of
Ooh.
dream sequence, it seems.
Or the next morning.
I don't know. This looks dream sequency to me.
Yeah. They're both completely dressed, as like the scene we just ended with. Like she's just in her red lingerie, and he's in his. Okay.
So I guess, is this Bruce's dream? Or is this... Was that whole situation just a dream?
All right, now she's the creep factor here.
Was he the one wearing the chest tie in the beginning? He's talking about black and white squares.
I don't know. I'm trying to... Like checkered motifs or...
Like I do think it's very interesting that it's shifted because like Kate was in black, Meredith was in black, and all of a sudden she's shifted into red.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if this was a marker of like, is red... I don't know how to say it, the color of the Furies. All right, now there's... So now Kate's right there. She's delivering some kind of prophecy.
It's quoted too. Both of those were quoted. I wonder if that's like actual
All
lighting,
right,
like
so
Aeschylus or something.
he's kind of in a daze.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. Yeah. He
All
got
right.
hit hard.
So I guess the fear is, right, the gig's up, right, and the rooster, the chickens are going to come home to roost, and she's on the run, and he...
I mean, yeah, because if he's this hurt, she is alive.
I think she might be, yeah.
has a lot of very red,
Mm.
paint
That is
red
so
blood, one
much
might
red.
even say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, like fresh blood will look that red, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, act two. So we think
Act
we're
two.
in a 3-act structure. You think, right?
Yep, I would
All
say.
right. So his face is messed up.
Yeah, because his eye like just swollen shut, or is it gone?
However it is, it's in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better question. Well, was that just his blood and her blood?
I think it's both their bloods.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's both.
because it's like otherwise that would have been a lot of blood loss to.
And she also lost a lot of blood too.
Yeah.
Open neck wound.
Yeah. I mean, if it missed the.
Ooh, gnarly. He's got a little bit of...
Oh,
pain.
God.
Oh
No, absolutely not.
Ugh.
Well, that's not gonna end well.
No.
Just has
He
a
pushed
piece
it
of
back
his
in. That seemed like the bad decision.
brain sticking out. Good God.
Grabs a fire poker.
Naturally,
Standard.
as you do.
Classic murder weapon.
What the plan is, I don't know.
Find her and kill her, I think. We've also, I guess, kind of switched perspectives, right? Where we've gone
Yeah.
from Meredith's perspective. Now we're primarily following him. Car's
Bruce.
still here.
Yeah.
Checks the back seat of the car.
Where are the keys, though?
The wood pile. The cover is missing from the wood pile.
Oh, yep. Good call.
Yep,
Good call.
yep.
So she's probably
In a tarp?
somewhere.
I don't know. I feel like my move would have been to take his button-down shirt.
Same. Same.
So it has been this entire time that the owl creature is the only thing that we've seen within the house. But the snakes, Kate, have all been outside.
Oh,
And we're
yeah.
now shifted outside.
There is like a cosmic karmic force that's surrounding this guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think there is. We hear an owl, but I'm like, I'm wondering if it is trying to show the owl as a different entity.
And we might be overthinking this.
We're classicists, is what we do.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, maybe the owl is just his own manifestation of his serial killer instincts.
Mhm.
Instincts is not the right word.
Impulses, inclinations.
Impulses. Thank you. Yes.
Carrying a lantern. We've switched to a shovel, also standard horror weaponry.
Definitely.
All right, he found the tar, or no, there's an oil drum.
Does it have a
I
body
wonder what's in
it?
that.
Oh,
He's got a bunch of oil drums, a bunch of empty oil drums. Or no, this seems. I bet this is his fresh
Trapdoor?
oil drum. I bet this is where he keeps them.
Yeah. I may not watch horror, but I do watch Criminal Minds, so the serial killer motif is not unfamiliar to me.
So he's dug up a bunch of oil drums.
Okay, if those oil drums have been full of dead bodies, no way he's able to pull those above ground in his condition.
that would be really hard.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So this one's got a skeleton.
It's wearing something around the neck, I think.
Yeah, like a torque or a necklace or something.
It does. I don't understand the logic. Yeah, there's Kate. Also with a necklace, and he's seeing like blood and water.
Now he's starting to hear things.
So
do we think the first one was Lenora then?
I assume.
Yeah. I didn't get a good look at that earlier photo, but
yeah,
she's wearing the same necklace.
Meredith would be his third, right?
Yeah.
At least here.
Based on the drums that had been pulled out.
Yeah.
So, and so I'm wondering if like she is like triggered some sort of like three
with
women
with
a third target.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. He's seeing basically a tarp ghost. Here's his fury moment.
So he might just be hallucinating because of his serious brain injury. All right, got some growls again. Back in the barrels.
Oh, I want Kate to come out of this barrel so bad.
There's the hound. Okay. So hound, snake. I really wish I'd paid attention to the statue at the beginning to figure out what the third one is supposed to be.
Or it's all, again, just in the kind of playhouse of iconography.
Right.
Yeah. Is that a Doberman?
Yeah.
It looks like it, yeah.
This movie turns into Cujo for a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm sorry, that dog would have caught him by now.
Yeah, he's not running fast. Also, the dog has a woman's head.
Okay.
I don't think this is a real dog.
That is
the dog
awesome.
has Kate's head now. Hence why he said, "What the."
I do like that he is now the one being hunted, and that
he's
the
sort of
perspective shift. Yeah, he's the victim now. Not really, but in the way that
he's the kind of the target of the horror.
Right.
I guess maybe what we're not to overanalyze or overread or overconnect. But if we're thinking Furies and we're thinking tragedy in a Greek context, we're thinking there's a hand reaching out for him.
Oh God.
Not
okay. I think I did see a thing in that shot because that was a tree, wasn't it?
Yes.
Might have been a tree, Christy.
Yeah. So like this, the as we've seen already, we've got visual cues, right? We're thinking Orestes and the Oresteia.
Yeah.
And right where he murdered his mother and is haunted by the Furies, and the idea is that they prevent him from sleeping. They follow him everywhere. And no one else can see them. They're like hallucinations to him. And but ultimately, I mean, this is, I don't think the direction the movie is or maybe should be going. But the culmination of the Oresteia is basically a legal process.
Yeah.
Right. And the idea is like the law is going to catch up with him, or justice in some way. In the play by Aeschylus, the justice is embodied by the Athenian court system. Ugh. But all right.
Yeah.
But
I hate how that play ends. All right. We got dancing naked ladies on a shroud.
Yeah, I hope for people who are listening and haven't seen this movie, it might just sound like we are having a fever dream.
Yeah. As it probably should. I think that's the point.
That is absolutely the point.
This is reminding me of the undulating line in the movie of Cleopatra.
Definitely.
It also feels almost more like a Greek play now in terms of the music and like the effects, right?
I was reminded of like a live production of a play or an opera or something like that, where they would have like an image projected on a sorry, I'm pausing because in the movie something pretty wild's happening. This feels like an Arañez.
Definitely entered the Greek play.
Yes. Yeah. But it feels like they would like project images onto like fluttering tarps. And that's basically what's happening. So we have a masked woman in front of a tarp. This definitely jumps out of like a live production of the Oresteia.
Sorry, guys.
What the fuck?
I guess how else do you react to this moment?
I'm also reminded of, now part of me is almost even wondering, I'm like, is this just Meredith playing some fucked up trick on him? But I think this is more of just his psyche punishing.
There's a tattoo on her arm that I think is Meredith's.
Yeah. I'm reminded of when we watched Titus, when they oh God, who is it? She dresses up as like Fear.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess also we've got, so if Act 1 was Meredith, Act 2 is Bruce. What's Act 3 gonna be?
I don't know.
Assuming there's a third act.
Ooh, I just crashed into something.
Classic horror trope, car not working or
engine
stalling. Waiting for something to hit the winch. Ooh.
All right. The Furies they're here now. That looks like Kate.
And they are taking the form of the women.
Yes, former victims.
Yeah.
So we got
I told you that was totally what I saw.
That is totally what you saw. You were so right.
Okay, so I think the other one was a bull because like the horns. So whatever the owl creature is that has been prompting him to kill, it is different than the Furies.
Okay. Oh, this noise is so disturbing.
fix the car.
Just
Don't be weird
gonna
about it.
ignore this weird thing happening behind me. Just fix the car.
It looks like
Rotating hands.
oh my God. The handshaking. Interesting. Because that's been Bruce's thing the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
The car
Okay.
is gonna
Okay,
eat
so the
him.
Fury has ripped out his ignition, basically. So this is also now we're inviting the question of like, there we go. Well, I guess so. The move anyway. Now it's that these Furies seem to be physically affecting the world around them, but
Yeah.
we were told at the beginning of the film, right? There is Megra, Tisiphone, and Electo.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder which one is supposed to be which. Which I guess, all right. Question for the group: the Furies are they ever actually explicitly listed as like a group of three and named as such? I know that those are all names of
That's
Furies.
later authors. Yeah.
Because like Tisiphone is a thing that comes up because that just means like vengeance for murder. That's what her name
Yeah.
means.
Right.
And that Electo pops up in the Aeneid.
Yeah, and Electo in the Aeneid.
Yeah. I think it's mostly Roman authors who give them the three names, even though the words are Greek. But I think I was reading theoi.com before this just to get some background on the Erinys, and it did mention that like the Greeks believed that the Erinys were older than like the Olympians.
Yeah, they're Uranus's blood, right? At least in Hesiod,
Mhm.
as they say, from his castration by Kronos.
Yes, right.
But they're like, yeah, they're kind of a primal cosmic being. They've got their torches.
Okay.
His house.
We've got a torch on the inside. Torch is one of the signs of the Furies. Oh,
I mean, I guess also the movie has kind of built in this kind of explanation for like, are these hallucinations
yeah,
real or is it just the product of his head injury?
right.
Um,
Oh, his head's on fire.
Oh, and
Oh
now he's
no,
on
it's not
fire.
on fire.
He just maybe thought it was on fire.
yeah, is he? I mean, I guess there's kind of the movie has provided an out of like he's just having a
Complete mental breakdown.
yes.
Which is interesting because like Meredith is the one who has seen these before.
Right.
Yes, but then I guess also that, right? Meredith has been
Yeah.
seeing all of this stuff.
Yeah, before his head injury. He
Which-
sees the owl creature, which she never seemed to.
No.
Which is kind of a fun, like she's seeing the horror, like she's having the horror protagonist experience, but she's seeing the monsters that are actually out to get her
Killer.
monster, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
her stalker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's interesting, right? Like the greatest danger to Meredith is Bruce. And like his behavior was very unnerving.
There's a little
Versus
bit
all-
of there's some clunky dialogue, I will say.
I think it's trying to like be, I don't know. I think it's trying to like affect some sort of, highfalutin translated theater-esque
Yeah.
dialogue. I'm not sure it works every
Yeah,
time.
He's talking a little bit like he's in a Shakespeare, like he's in Macbeth.
Yes.
So that does suggest like maybe he had schizophrenia or something before.
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay.
Oh, that poor woman.
All right.
All right.
Ew. Okay. Interesting.
So she's like crawling
Kate's
up
kind
the
of channeling.
chimney. Ooh.
The stove has turned into a snake.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. I forget that horror can be funny sometimes.
Ooh,
Oh no.
this is getting a little like Beetlejuice esque
Yes, I see that.
as
It's
he's
like,
like fighting one because it's just kind of this like stop animation monster, but or a little Evil Dead where he's like fighting an object that like this scene looks like it's actually straight out of the Evil Dead, but no, he's just having a moment.
oh my god.
Oh. Except for the whole searing skin part of that. That
Yeah,
was
that
kind of
was.
hilarious.
Oh.
So the Furies are slowly making their way inside.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I love I love that because it's like there's a lot of there's a famous quote from a feminist is like um men don't fear the things that women fear, they fear being laughed at. And I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting. All right. He definitely needs to go to a hospital.
Oh, he's dead. He's gonna die.
We're to the surrealist part of the movie, you guys.
Yeah, so he just
Woo!
had a seizure and a vision and
Ooh.
Ooh,
sculpture.
there's the
Bronze
statue.
statue. Oh, he's picked it up like a pizza tray. He's delivering it outside. Which again makes you wonder, like, was that murder of Kate driven by wanting that object
Ooh,
or wanting to
Well, I
kill
guess is the
Kate?
question: is the object is it a trophy, right? Like
It
a
could be.
trophy
right.
of his kill, or is it, um, he also just like is an art person and wants to collect fancy art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, false, my
Well,
man.
all of those are lies. Well, you do not want people to be happy. That might
That
be
might be
true.
And
accurate.
Yeah.
he's pleading to the Furies. I guess the thing that I'm wondering now is like what's the way out of this, right?
There is
Um is it his death? Is it some kind of sense of justice? Um mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what he was thinking was beautiful in that moment, in either the statue or Kate.
I think it's
Right.
both.
Yeah.
Is he saying the statue made him do it?
No, he's saying the piece in his head made him do it, which I assume is the
Yeah.
owl.
Gotcha. He wants to
Which if we
destroy beauty.
if we go back to like the therapy session with Meredith, like the rhetoric he's using right now is kind of the same thing you'll hear from domestic abusers, right?
Right,
Like there's just a
yes.
piece of me and I regret it and I want to be happy. I want it's not really
Yeah.
me.
I'll do whatever it takes, but not really. Like
So in
he
the statue also, I will
Yeah, we could
might
probably see
add
that.
the guy in the statue, as we saw kind of in the earlier shots of it, seems to be cutting his own throat, basically.
Yeah.
So is this,
okay.
is
Driven
this
to madness. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's not the statue they want, bro.
I mean, yeah, like
We still haven't like as far as we're aware, haven't seen Meredith at all unless
she's
she is that third Fury.
been
She
I
could
gone
be.
since
assume
Act Two.
she's the third Fury,
Yeah.
actually.
Because I think, like you said, like she has the same tattoo on her arm.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Maybe Meredith actually didn't make it out, or maybe she
That's what
did.
I think. I think she
Yeah.
died and became a Fury. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She might have like killing or like injuring him that badly. Might have been kind of her last
Yep.
strength she had.
Yep. Oh, buddy, it's so not over.
Well, I don't know. What's the timestamp on the movie? Got about
It's
what?
now a lawn ornament and all is fine.
I mean, meta, we know that this is about. Whoops, sorry. I mean, yeah, we're getting there. We got about 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
Steve's
Ooh.
gonna come back on.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Whoa!
This is terrifying.
What the fuck? What? I don't even know what I'm seeing anymore. Okay, we're
Oh,
getting
it's
a
his
reveal of the
owl.
owl creature. There's stuff feeding it drugs.
Yeah, are they?
Some kind of chemistry lab.
This has gotten weird, y'all.
We got a kind of a Walter White figure. Yeah, how
We've
would you
got
describe what we're looking at? Like,
I
I don't
have
know,
no
doctors.
idea.
projected costume
Is
proposals
he
from
maybe
Dune.
going through surgery? Maybe he's like going through surgery.
Oh, are they trying to exercise? He's trying to exercise it from himself. He's cutting this
Takes
piece.
the owl
Oh my
sketch
gosh,
off.
we're getting a
Whose head's
reveal.
under it? Is it his own head?
What are we seeing? What?
Okay.
It looks like a cartoon. I don't get it.
How to describe what we're looking at? It is a kind of like what do you the hairy? I know it's called like the kind of like not Muppets, but they're like the furry red guys with the googly
Yes.
eyes.
Yes.
Kind of looks like that, but like if
And a xenomorph
merged-
baby.
yeah, and if it merged with like a blood vessel.
What?
It looks like a licorice Cthulhu.
It's breathing. Oh my god.
Okay, we just had a flash of Meredith. Oh. Oh god. Okay.
Okay, yep.
Man.
She's the masked fury.
Mm-hmm. We have the bronze. They're at the table. The bronze is back, sitting in between them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a speaker set up. Interesting.
She's kind of giving him
Well-
a Turing test.
Well, no, I feel like this is like the legal proceeding, right? Like he's in a court.
Yeah, she is. It's very much like an interrogation room.
Yeah.
You asked me out.
Hmm.
Okay, never.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
So he's done this. So he's done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Lie. Great big lie.
So. Okay.
I mean, now this is I was just following orders kind of defense.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's nothing personal. Okay. Ooh, we got a snake.
Ooh.
Hmm. Ooh.
This is so disturbing.
More snakes. Mm. I think she's trying to make him realize he's one and the same.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where this interrogation is leading, right? That like the
Mhm.
him is just a lame excuse you come up with.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
you. And they had to put a lot of snakes on this actress.
They're really pretty.
Yeah, they are.
She's wearing that one like a hat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. To be fair, her hand is not shaking, and she has a lot of snakes on her right now.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna rip his own head out.
This will be cathartic.
In theory, so
Ooh,
Aristotle
yeah,
says.
he's
Mhm.
talking about purification.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Oh, squelching! No.
What
the
There it is.
fuck was that?
interesting.
Baby bird.
Well, it's the piece. It's the bird,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, because it's an owl. Oh my god. Yes, queen. Oh my god.
Okay, now he's naked, and he
he
just took out the skull. I want to say it's the skull piece. I don't want to
part of
say
his
brain.
own brain or something.
Aw.
Yeah,
Yeah, my dude.
it is him running through the woods. I think he's just gonna run naked through the woods.
Alright. Hmm.
I mean, you're still up and moving, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's still up and at it.
I don't know
He's
what you think has been tricked.
he's gonna put on like a toga, basically. He's gonna quickly convert his bed sheets into a
As you do. Like, this
Yeah.
is obviously the easiest way to find clothes.
Crafting montage.
Actually, yeah, he's going for the full
The
kind of
whole
elaborate
thing.
getup
Yeah.
going on. He's going for a full on toga.
Like, this ain't no frat party. I'm doing this seriously.
I'm doing this right. Oh my god. He's in a fucking
It just
toga.
brings back memories.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh, ooh. So he crushed the statue with his Wolverine hand and then split his leg open. Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's basically we've now gone full Greek tragedy.
Yeah, we
100%.
have.
We have a man on stage covered in blood in a toga or a chiton or a tunic of some sort, raving while Furies surround him and mock him. Really kind of has taken a bit of a genre shift.
Yeah.
Definitely. This has
I don't hate
descended
it.
very quickly.
Yeah, we started out sort of, God, what's the movie I was thinking of? What's the calls coming from inside the house? What's that one?
It's interesting that, like, part of, like, what they're hounding him for is being a thief, and I don't think that was something the Furies actually cared about. Apparently, perjury was, though.
False witness. Well, yeah,
Yep.
it's all because it's all about what they punish is you breaking your like special like relationships that are like ordained. Relationships that are ordained by like nature and God, right? Family ties,
Yeah.
bear oath breaking,
Right. Yep.
kin slaying, things like that, right? Stuff that's
Yep.
not just like that they're crimes, is that they're like affronts to nature or like the way the gods or something like that. Yeah. Okay, what's he doing?
Oh, all right.
I'm waiting for this just to end and like
I know.
credits to start to roll.
Yeah, like
so
But we're not in
confused.
Act 3 yet, are we?
Maybe
I don't know.
there's no Act
It may not
3.
be Act 3. Yeah, we may have
Just 2 acts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I
And
guess the lingering question is, what's Meredith? Did Meredith?
Yeah, what happened to Meredith for sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's back to the barrels. Us too, dude. What's it gonna be?
I can't believe he made himself a toga.
Right?
Also, I need to go back and check, but I think the side the knot was on might have switched sides.
No, I think it's on the same side.
Okay.
Don't understand gratitude.
Oh, okay. I like their
Interesting.
sort of defining thief as what he robs from women,
Yeah.
like robbing them of their lives and their power.
That's a good change up. Because
like
you
that.
would think it was just a statue.
Right,
Well, she
yeah.
led with beauty, which I also mentioned.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's not how it
No,
works.
no, no,
No.
no. I don't think so.
You have so much explaining to. The police are coming.
Yeah.
You have so much explaining to do.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
no.
Oh, fuck.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Gnarly. There's a hand that's coming out of his head.
I am loving this first fury, this tree fury thing.
Oh, and then it slinks back in.
Oh!
Shit.
I'm now really kind of scratching my head over
Okay, Colin called this part. You
Yep.
definitely called this part, Colin.
I don't know. I'm just really good at reading text. What can I say? But she takes her fate.
Whoa.
Why is she sparkly? And he's
I guess the line between the real and the surreal is getting very blurry right now.
yeah.
The beauty, like trying to emphasize the beauty or something.
I think
Maybe.
they're just big Twilight fans.
Yeah. He's bedazzled, y'all.
I do find it very satisfying that he's killing himself with
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh fuck yes, Meredith. Oh my god. Best reveal.
Right.
So good.
She's in a different movie.
Yes, she is in a completely different movie.
He's in this like avant-garde art piece, like surreal, exploratory, like Neo Fellini, and she's just in like a slasher film.
Yes, and she won. She's our fucking final girl.
There it is. And roll credits. All right, this leads to my final question.
He's still going.
Still twitching.
He's still grabbing his neck.
Guys. Oh
This might be a bit of paprika on the sauce.
This is a Shakespeare ending right here.
Yeah. Or Bugs laughing.
Hit me, Colin. I want to hear it.
Die. All right, final question. The title of this film that we just ended on.
Yep.
Who's the fawn, right? Is Meredith the fawn?
Well, the line came up towards the end there when the Furies
Yeah.
were chasing him of like, we're going to chase you down like a wounded fawn.
Yeah, they called
Is he the
him the
fawn?
wounded fawn.
Yeah.
So is it a bait and switch, right? You think she's going to be the fawn, but it's actually him because he's a weak, pathetic little man.
I guess he's still twitching.
He's still twitching, you guys.
Yeah, viewers at home,
This
we just
was
think we
not-
man
I am
stab
astounded.
himself. I wonder if this is just like the director being like, when do we call cut? This is a long
Just like keep going until I call cut. Do not stop.
right. I mean, I also feel like that bit in The Simpsons. They're like, he's already dead.
Is he down? Is he
No,
down?
I'm thinking of like I'm
And
not
she's just
dead
standing there
yet.
watching.
I'm
Waiting
still
for another
alive.
neck grab.
I can make it.
He's still going. He's going.
And Meredith is still just standing there.
Standing
See
there.
the whole credit scene. He's
Oh.
gonna,
It's almost like watching my nephew go deaf.
I feel like I do kind of feel like I'm watching I feel bad laughing because the story about they're filming Raiders of the Lost Ark and the scene with the whip and the sword, not the whip, the sword and the gun.
Yeah.
And like apparently in the first takes, the guy getting shot like did a death like this, like just
Right.
died, like writhed and died for a long, long time.
He's slowed down. He's almost lost his little hand knuckle brass knife thing.
I don't know. I have a hard time. I'm having a hard time with this scene.
Meredith is just like, is it over yet? Like she looked up and she's like,
kind of feels
just
like
stop.
I feel like this went on too long.
Like it feels like a scene like in like an acting class, and someone really
Okay, all right. We have a
like,
sculptor for the statue, so it is not a real Hellenistic bronze statue.
Well,
which I don't think surprised any of us.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I guess like while the credits are rolling, I guess we can end on our verdicts, right? So like, do you dig this movie?
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this because I watched it with you guys. I feel like
yes, I echo that. I think I would have felt like this went on too long. Like I feel like Act 2 was way longer than Act 1, and
Yes.
maybe it actually wasn't, but it felt longer. And I think that they could have wrapped up this story the way that it has been told in a shorter time frame. But I enjoyed watching it with y'all.
yeah.
So, and the credits are still rolling. I mean, I guess is the word that we're looking for, right? Like indulgent.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, especially here at the end.
He's still twitching.
Is there more? I want to know.
You guys, the credits have ended, and he's still twitching. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Like, wow.
Wow.
Leo, you slept through that. Do you have something to add?
I would definitely say watch it with friends who are into like.
And that's the true horror.
Yeah.
Experience. But yeah, I think on my own, this might have been a long watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
There wasn't necessarily a lot of dialogue, so like.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird visuals, and it just kind of kept
especially
coming.
in Act 2.
Yes. Yeah. I guess one thing that I'm thinking about is like, we do have a lot of horror slashers that really follow like the women's perspective on like being hunted. Mm-hmm. But like, did we actually need to turn our perpetrator into a victim? Like, did we need to make him, or I guess maybe even, was he like a sympathetic character in the end?
I know, because I think in his own mind, he's the victim.
Of course. But
then the point at the end of the movie is like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're still doubling down on like, no, actually, you're still really awful, and you still won't take responsibility for your actions. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it felt very gratifying in that way. But also, there was so much of him being hunted that I'm like, did we need that much?
That's the part where I'm wondering of like, is the film getting a little, is it a hat on a hat? Is it gilding the lily? Is it too much, hot sauce on the sandwich? Something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
I did like the almost full Greek theater effect at the end. Like,
yes, it went full.
The montage of making the toga, maybe a little long, but I liked.
It's like the joke from Tropic Thunder where it's like they went full Sophocles and like never go full Sophocles,
Never go full Sophocles. Oh my God.
Like maybe it went a little too. I mean, I have so many questions about the conception and the direction and the writing of this movie of like, did someone read the Oresteia and was like this? Or
right.
This is a film that like a film student makes after taking a course on like Greek tragedy.
Yes.
Not to speak disparagingly of the filmmakers.
Well, a couple of questions I still have because, my thought semi-correct in that Meredith is the one who turned on Bruce towards the end there, although he ultimately is the one who takes his own life.
Right.
By accident, all things considered. But, was she actually seeing things? Because we remember her saying, I saw a woman.
Right.
Yeah, this, again, we're like the literalism of the film and the surrealism of the film kind of are a little unclear because it's like he's clearly hallucinating all this kind of stuff, but she actually did see some of the stuff that he was hallucinating.
Yeah.
So
right.
if it wasn't for the moment of the woman running across, I think enough of Meredith stuff, like the snake that hit the window or like a bat or the screen falling down, it's like, I think that could have worked with her feeling uneasy about the situation she
Right.
was in already with him. And
Right.
like those little things just adding on to how scared she was.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they had removed her seeing a woman walk across,
Yeah.
then it would have been more believable that like she's experiencing the real life horror, right? Of being
Right.
stuck in the
Yeah.
woods with a serial killer.
Yeah.
And he's experiencing all the horror in his head.
I'm reminded a little bit of because I've been going through David Fincher films and I watched Fight Club recently, and it's like the part where it's like it's just Edward Norton and Brad Pitt
Mhm.
isn't there, and like how much Brad Pitt interfaces with other characters in the movie, and like when you try to piece it through, like how it all works, it's like where is Edward Norton in this situation versus like what Brad Pitt's doing, like it kind of
Mhm.
it doesn't logic all the way through all the time. And
Right.
I'm wondering, like, this is a little bit like that, but like maybe a little sweatier, a little, it kind of calls attention to that inconsistency a little bit harder of like, wait, is this real? Or is it because like it definitely seems like this kind of thing is real, but the same thing is also at a different point in the movie not real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they
So
tried to like ground it back in reality at the end, right? Because we
Yeah.
have actual
Sort
Meredith
of.
with like, well, I mean, we have like
Yes,
real
but,
life
like, that death
Meredith with,
scene.
yeah.
just
Okay.
watching him
Well,
die, like
the
being
death
kind of
scene
a fury.
aside, but
Yeah.
like the real life still alive Meredith with like a
Mhm.
duct tape bandage on her neck
And
wearing
the
a tarp.
Yeah.
Like that, it's like we could see a version of events of the night from her perspective, right? Where she
Mhm.
is being this weird fury character and trying to get him to admit these things and terrorizing him to make him, you know, take responsibility for his actions and ultimately
Mhm.
like winning in the end, right? And
Mhm.
surviving.
Yeah. I'm wondering also if Meredith was planting some of those ideas into Bruce's head before the initial injury, because like I mentioned, like part of why he's so off-putting talking to Meredith about like she's wanting to leave, it also sounds like he's trying to convince himself that everything is normal, that everything is fine.
Right.
So like she's feeding into some of the fears he has, but the fear of like something being off. That was the other interesting thing, right? Like this is his new collection.
Mm-hmm.
But only now with these 3 most recent deaths is
Right.
he and the injury is he actually seeing these entities that aren't the owl entity.
Right, right, right.
I was just curious, like the fear is actually pretty well fit with the classical reception of that. The 2 that are interesting to me is like why include the pomegranate and the owl entity, we were right, was not one of the Furies. Do you think that's still pulling from Greek myth, or do you think that was a creation of his own to explain this piece of himself that
Ooh, yeah. So I mean, I feel like pomegranate, yeah, I feel like maybe you hit the nail on the head with just like this chthonic imagery. And like we associate pomegranates with Persephone and Hades, and maybe going
and the
into the beginning.
thievery?
Yes, thievery, yes. And maybe going into it, it could be more of like, oh, this is a Hades stealing Persephone kind of story because he's kind of kidnapped her to his isolated place in the woods and feeds her a pomegranate.
Mhm.
And maybe that's somewhat of just like a red herring or creating atmosphere. Also, like I feel like this the color red works with
Mhm.
that really well because pomegranates have this very staining, like bright,
Yeah.
garish
Bloody.
red color.
Sanguine, you might even say.
We might even
Yep.
say. And I think that red seemed to be like a big thematic color throughout the whole thing. So I'm wondering if it was just part of the panoply of images.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my sort of thoughts exactly that. Like the pomegranate's just right is like when you're brought to a place and you eat of the pomegranate, right? If she is in hell, that.
Mm.
And it's also just, broadly Greek. The owl creature feels a more of a right manifestation of this urge to kill, more of an invention on the film's part. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily
Yeah.
have anything to say. I can't think of anything. I also kind of really want to avoid the trap of trying to find a one-to-one to everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Because
yeah.
like the only owl imagery I can think of is associated with Athena,
And that doesn't
which
work at
does
all.
connect to it connects to the Oresteia again.
Guess. I don't know.
I mean, because Athena ultimately sides with Orestes, the
murderer.
the killer, the murderer of
Right.
his
Yeah,
mother, right?
exonerates him of the murder.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it.
So he's
That does
using
make
that owl
sense.
creature to exonerate himself of his crimes, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. And also the general larger theme of crimes against women, where
Yes.
Zena's justification for siding with Orestes is basically she's like, with all things, I side with the father.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrible play. Sorry. Or at least I hate the end of that play. So
Oh, yeah. But I think this was like a weird and fun Halloween-esque movie.
yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for trying it out, you guys, because I was just
Thanks for
I can't do
suggesting it,
scary movies by
Christy.
myself. It's like if I watch it with
Mhm.
people, I should feel better. So
Wow. You still have to go home alone now. All right. I can do the sign off unless anyone has any final things they want to add.
I'll just mention the tournament is going strong. Team Elijah
Woo!
with her boy Spartacus has made it into the semifinals, and my horse is currently up against a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. So if Life of Brian ends up winning that, Elijah and I have to go against each other in the semifinals.
Ooh, all right.
Yay.
Yeah. So contest is going well. Keep participating. It's what makes it fun. So
Cool. All right. In that case, listeners, thank you again for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the special commentary episode. If it works, we'll see. Upon review, we'll see if this is a successful endeavor. And if so, we might try it again. As always, you can follow us at our website, movieswedig.com. Find us on most major streaming platforms. Follow us on Blue Sky and Instagram as well. You can find us under Movies We Dig. And keep listening and support us if you like on Ko-fi. So without further ado, I think we'll say our goodbyes.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.